Internal family systems theory is an evidence-based practice created by Richard C. Schwartz in the 1980s. It is shown to improve anxiety, depression, trauma, and other mental health concerns. To simplify it, internal family systems theory, or IFS, is the idea that we are all born calm, creative, compassionate, and courageous. This is the core element of ourselves. However, along the way in life, different parts of us become fragmented. Parts such as anger, shame, depression, avoidance, obsession, critical, and so on. These fragmented parts are wounded from events of our past. Let's dig a little deeper. Some of us might go on shopping sprees, binge eat, mindlessly scroll social media, or become angry. These parts are called our firefighters. Firefighters will go to great lengths to not let our wounded parts out. They work very hard and even impulsively to keep us distracted, numb, and away from the pain. The firefighters are doing their best to protect the wounded parts of ourselves. We'll talk about those later. Another part that comes to the rescue might look like caregiving, controlling, overanalyzing, overachieving, and anxiety. These parts are called the managers. They are our system's first line of defense. Managers do their best to show the outside world that they have it all together, but underneath they are struggling. Managers are our wounded inner children that learn to become parentified to cope with the painful events. So, who are the firefighters and managers trying to protect? Feelings of shame, embarrassment, abandonment, and fear. These parts are called the exiles, or inner children. The firefighters and managers are worried about the exiles disrupting the system. Children are born to be innocent, playful, creative, and sensitive. However, when a hurtful event happens, the inner child becomes wounded, and an exile part is fragmented off and born. Underneath the firefighters, managers, and exiles is the core self. The core self is calm, curious, and creative. Once the wounded parts step aside, the final self can be accessed. The self responds to life events with all these positive qualities, and it's able to process painful times in a healthy way. Here are some examples of how these parts are born. When Jenny was little, her parents would argue throughout the day. She would do everything to get their attention, screaming, crying, but nothing seemed to work. In the evenings, her parents would go to the bars. This left Jenny behind. This fragmented one of Jenny's exiles. The feeling of being unwanted, the fear of isolation and abandonment. Fast forward to Jenny's adult life. Jenny is constantly arguing with her husband. She becomes angry and defensive and tends to pick fights with those closest to her. Little does Jenny know that underneath the firefighter, or the anger, is Jenny's fear of being abandoned, or her exile. Jenny's calendar was constantly filled up. She agreed to every request, whether it be from her boss, family, neighbors, or friends. She was overworked with people pleasing and overachieving. This was Jenny's managers hard at work. When Jenny's managers weren't enough, her firefighters would come in. Mindless scrolling, binge watching TV, avoiding personal responsibilities, and general depression started to take over. After years of this cycle, Jenny finally had enough and found an internal family systems therapist. This therapist helped Jenny identify her parts and accept them. This helped Jenny be able to navigate her life with her core self leading instead of the managers, firefighters, or exiles.